that, you know, suddenly she's attacking Jay-Z, she's attacking SZA. And I'm like, she's calling SZA ugly and shit like that.
Well, she's always been a mean girl.
That's what I'm saying. I just didn't like that. And I don't know SZA. I've never even met her. I'm not cool with TDE. I'm not beefing with you, but I'm not, no, you've never seen TDE artists on Vlad TV since J-Rock from 2009. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't rock with me. And I know Top. Like, Top called me like a couple years ago, you know, to ask me about some other shit. So it's not like they don't know me. They know me. They don't rock with me. So, but SZA really just doesn't bother anybody. She's on tour. She's doing her thing. Like,
yeah,
she's one of the top.
I'm kind of sticking with Nicki with this. If I'm over here saying some of my gripes, mind your motherfucking business. Unless you're trying to get some of the smoke. Because when I'm giving out my smoke, if I see
what does SZA do?
So
to catch that backlash.
Okay, let me give you what I believe is Nicki's perspective.
From what let me interrupt you real quick. From what I understand, this whole thing stems from Nicki asking for a feature for SZA and them ignoring her.
Okay, well, it's been turned into that, saying there was pent up anger, but this originally started from Nicki Minaj calling out Desiree Perez in Rock Nation, who she believes has subverted her efforts in the music industry.
All right, let's try. All right, I'm the savviest of mics in this. I am Savvy Mike TV, and well, we have DJ Vlad on our screen, and he is going off on Nicki Minaj for trying to start beef with SZA. Now, if you don't know, DJ Academics and Vlad, I think they did about 2.5, maybe 3 hour interview. I haven't watched it in full yet. I plan on doing that at some point today. But it is clips floating around so far, and shit's going kind of viral. So, you know, we want to hear what Vlad has to say about the Queen Barb herself, Nicki Minaj. Now, I want to give some disclaimers first. Barbs, I'm never going to disrespect your queen. Now, while I might throw some defense to SZA, just know, I love Nicki. I do. I don't love her fans, though. Her fans are dickheads. But I love her. She is an amazing rapper. Makes amazing music. I'm the type of person, I know how to separate the art from the artist. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that, and they hold people accountable for a lot of shit. But me, I enjoy the art of whatever I enjoy, whether it be content or music or just, I enjoy the art. So I can separate the art from the artist. And regardless of the type of person I know Nicki Minaj to be, she makes some great music. And I'm looking forward to her next effort, the next music that she plans on putting out, because she is consistent as well. Like, she hasn't made bad music in the past year or two. Nicki's been still cooking. So I can't wait to hear it. You know, wow. When she was beefing with Megan Thee Stallion, the diss record could have been 10 times better, especially if she didn't tweet all of her lyrics. At the same time, you know, I respect the effort. She went out there and she violated Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not mad at it. Will a diss towards SZA be coming soon? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, I don't think the situation between SZA, TDE, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce and Drake, hopefully that's what this next album's about. That's what I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear this next Nicki Minaj album. She has a lot she needs to address, at least as far as in the music. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why these artists don't like really put all that content into the music. It's a lot that happens in y'all lives outside of just the regular bullshit that you could be addressing in the music. Don't address it in tweets. Address it in the music. What are we doing? Anyways, let's hear what Vlad has to say.
I don't know what she's on, but she gets on these like tirades. You know, people want to say that she's on drugs. I have no idea. You know, I'm not going to say that.
I think most entertainers are on drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Or they have some vice.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're struggling.
Say that, then she's going to sue me or whatever else.
I'm not saying she's.
I have no idea. I'm just saying that this is a behavior that you see people that are on something suddenly go off on these crazy tirades. That, you know, suddenly she's attacking Jay-Z, she's attacking SZA, and I'm like, she's calling SZA ugly and shit like that.
Well, she's always been a mean girl.
That's what I'm saying. I just didn't like that. And I don't know SZA. I've never even met her. I'm not cool with TDE. I'm not beefing with you, but I'm not. No, you've never seen TDE artists on Vlad TV since J-Rock from 2009. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't rock with me. And I know Top. Like, Top called me like a couple of years ago, to ask me about some other shit. So it's not like they don't know me. They know me. They don't rock with me. So, but SZA really just doesn't bother anybody. She's on tour. She's doing her thing. Like, she's one of the top.
I'm kind of sticking with Nicki with this. If I'm over here saying some of my gripes, mind your motherfucking business. Unless you're trying to get some of the smoke. Because when I'm giving out my smoke, if I see
what does SZA do?
So
to catch that backlash.
Okay, let me give you what I believe is Nicki's perspective.
Let me interrupt you real quick. From what I understand, this whole thing stems from Nicki asking for a feature for SZA and them ignoring her.
Okay. Well, it's been turned into that, saying there was pent-up anger. But this originally started from Nicki Minaj calling out Desiree Perez in Roc Nation, who she believes has subverted her efforts in the music industry, most notably with the Tidal situation. Okay? Now, I am in the opinion that Nicki didn't do good. She's not the most shrewd businesswoman, and I don't want to attack her business acumen, but the conversations I've heard people say behind that whole thing was, yes, she had to sign a piece of paper that was going to affirm her ownership, or when they were going to sell it, that she was supposed to get like $8 million, or like it was close to 10, because the company that was initially worth $56 million, when she got pieces of it, got sold for 6 times the amount, which was 300. Yes.
Tidal got sold for 300 million?
Yes. Jack Dorsey did that, and after they bought it out, like, he did that just to be friends with Jay-Z.
But it got diluted. There was more investors after the fact. So the initial shares, like, this is what happens with companies. Like, people don't like to listen to this, but like, you could own, okay, so let's just say you buy 10% of Vlad TV for $1 million, right? And it's worth $10 million at the time, right? You give me $1 million, I say you own 10% of Vlad TV. Well, later on, Vlad TV gets into some financial problems. Tidal's never been profitable. Let's just keep it 100. Like, Tidal's not a success story.
It's the same with Spotify, though. Spotify's never made a profit.
It's like, look, it's Spotify.
And by the way,
hold on. I can tell you that right now, because all you have to do.
Today was their earnings call. They reported a loss of $100 million from last quarter.
Let's look at the price-earning ratio.
They make revenue.
They're profitable. They have a 94 price-earning ratio. That means that they're profitable.
Well,
they may have lost overall, but overall the company's profitable. Well, now, the stock is high because it's a 94 price-earning ratio, but if it was losing money overall, it'd be 2 dashes where it says price-to-earning ratio.
Well, that's what they've claimed. Maybe it's changed.
It's not a claim. It's right there in the numbers. Like, I know stocks. Like, to be losing money, you have to have a negative price-to-earning ratio, which this does not have. It's a 94.
Okay, so
hold on. So let me finish my story. So you give me $1 million, and I say you own 10% of Vlad TV. In the process, Vlad TV is losing money. I got to take on other investors. Jay gives me $1 million. Steve Stout gives me $2 million, whatever else. Ultimately, everything gets diluted, so that $1 million that you put in that was worth 10% is now worth 2%, because there's other investors, and we had to give them pieces of the company to keep the company afloat and so forth. So by the time it sells, and I sell it for $10 million, you're like, I was supposed to get $1 million, but you only got $200,000. You could be pissed off, but I had to explain that I had to bring in outside investment to keep the company afloat, and everything got diluted. My first job out of college was with a company called NetObjects, where that exactly same thing happened. NetObjects was worth a certain amount of money. I got a certain number of shares, but it kept losing money and so forth, and ultimately the shares got diluted. At the end of the day, it was worth nothing, so I got nothing out of it. But I was watching it happen, which is ultimately after a year I quit. I saw what was happening. So Tidal is not a winning company. It's not a success story. It's a bummy, half-ass streaming network that nobody goes to. When's the last time you've heard someone, let me pull up my Tidal? let me pull up so-and-so on Tidal. Nobody.
And by the way,
people do Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon to a certain degree.
And by the way, just
Spotify is a losing company. So sitting there like, I should have gotten 200 million. If the company sold for 300 million.
But by the way, I think I was also talking
Nicki
about
Minaj said, I'm owed 200 million. For a company that sold for 3? What do you own, 2/3 of the company? And there were 16 other artists who signed up to begin with? And Jay-Z is the main shareholder, and there's a whole bunch of other shareholders, and it got sold to, like, was it Sprint at one point? Like, you see dilution after dilution after dilution, so obviously you're not going to get that much. And at the end of the day, Nicki can do a couple shows and make a few million. It's not even a major amount of money for her. It's not something that's going to get her out of debt. I can imagine it's like, yo, look, I'm fucked up, and Jay-Z fucked up the only lifeline I had. Like, seriously, like, Nicki can go on a world tour and make a couple $100 million. She's that big of an artist. Am I right?
No, yes. But this is why.
That's my point. So when I saw this, and I saw these weird ranting, you owe me 200, they're like, yes, she does. And it's Deseret. And then the SZA thing just sort of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you're calling this girl ugly who already has insecurities about her looks. We've talked about this before. She already has serious insecurities about her looks. You know, she's had plastic surgery and everything else like that. I remember when you said, like, you made a comment about her, like Drake called you, was like, yo, man, she's really fucked up over this.
She was crying.
Yeah, man, she was crying.
She's at like 5 BBLs. She's been trying to get that junk right. Hey.
I'm just saying, I just felt bad for this human being that's being attacked by this major artist who has this crazy fan base.
Because I ain't gonna lie, when I'm on my rant, stay out of my motherfucking business. What happened is that I don't care if Nicki's on some drugs. I don't know if Nicki on drugs, but I don't care what's going on with Nicki. But when Nicki going on her shit, mind your business unless you want to smoke. She tweeted out. She tweeted something. She's like, the Mercury must be in retrograde today. And Nicki, well, the barber sent it to Nicki like, yo, she's subtweeting.
Okay, and here's the other big problem I had. One of the TDE dudes.
Punch?
No, not Punch.
Okay.
This other dude was like, yo, man, Nicki don't want to smoke with TDE. You know, we'll put her... Mac Wap was like, yo, man, she get put in the blender. You know, you see how Kendrick does it. Oh, my God. FBI, CIA, TDE is threatening me. They're going to kill me. And then, like, the fucking, what's her name, Luna, that one representative was like, I just talked to Nicki, and we're looking into this. We don't tolerate bullying or threats on people's life. And I'm just looking at this going like, and y'all call me the feds.
That's woman privilege right there, though.
Y'all call me the feds when she's publicly tweeting the FBI and the CIA and talking to a government official about investigating someone who made a joke.
Meek Mill did the same thing to me. Meek said he talked to the governor about me, said I did murders. Hey, I will say this.
Which is lame as hell, too. So I'm just saying, like, y'all call me the feds when she's doing this. She's literally tweeting out that she's tagging the FBI and CIA and then talking to one of Trump's people about investigating a random-ass comment, which you know she is smart enough to know that her life was being threatened.
Vlad. DJ Vlad. My Russian wigger. Yes. We have every right to call you the feds, Vlad. You want to know why? Because while there is examples of that is true. Nicki is federal for that, for adding the FBI on Mac Wap. She didn't need to do that. That was federal. And then there's other instances of other people acting federally. Vlad, you were the same wig that tried to get a college professor fired at her job because y'all were having Twitter beef. Stop it, Vlad. Stop. No. I was agreeing with Vlad. I was like, oh, Vlad, you're right. Yeah, well, I don't know why, Nicki. You broke the numbers down and it made sense. Like, she probably wasn't even supposed. Like, she acting like she invested $30 million into Tidal. Nah, she just invested her face and was probably promised an amount. Didn't get it because of everything that Vlad had said, and is probably looking like, well, where the money y'all promised me? Nah. You didn't provide enough money to keep this business afloat. I had to sell it. Understandable. No, I agree with Vlad there. But when he starts talking this federale shit, nah, Vlad, you went full Karen on a college professor. Because y'all was having a back and forth, and you felt like she was being racist towards you. That's what you did. That's what you did. You're the facts. You're the facts. What? Vlad funny. That was funny. I was listening to that. I was like, damn, he all right, 7 minutes in. He about right. I understand. Then he started saying what he was saying. I was like, hold up. Don't you start talking about Nicki Minaj adding the FBI. You're the same nigga that added the college professors college. In the tweet say she's being racist toward me. What? Turned full Karen. Full on Karen. Came back and apologized because everybody was on his ass for it. Like, Vlad, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what? Nah, nigga. Nah. We forgive. But we don't forget over here at I Am Savvy Mike TV. We might forgive. We might go, oh yeah, fuck it is what it is. He's still doing his thing. Vlad sitting at like 6.5 million subscribers. I could not like him. I could think he the feds all I want to. That ain't gonna stop shit. So we'll rock with it. We'll Vlad entertaining enough. We'll rock with it. Can't clip his shit up because he'll be a bitch about it. But we'll rock with it. But then once you start being a hypocrite, like I said, I'll forgive you, but I ain't gonna forget. I remember. That shit was crazy. Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do you think Nicki is wrong for attacking SZA? Do you agree with Vlad? Do you agree with DJ Akademic? Let me know in the comments below. I Am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.